Vin Diesel, whose real name is Mark Sinclair, was born on July 18, 1967, in Alameda County, California. From the very beginning, his life was surrounded by mystery. His birth certificate had no father's name written on it, leaving behind a blank space that would follow him for life. His mother, Delora, was a white astrologer with Scottish roots, but she never revealed the identity of his father, not even to Diesel himself. All Vin ever learned was that his parents' relationship might have been considered illegal in some parts of America before 1967, which hinted that his father could have been a man of color, but that remained unsolved. Vin never took a DNA test, saying he preferred the mystery to stay alive rather than have it solved. Growing up with this unknown heritage shaped much of his personality and identity. Instead of growing up in the suburbs, Diesel and his twin brother, Paul Vincent, were raised in a unique environment in New York City. They lived in a place called West Beth Artists Housing, a converted industrial complex in Greenwich Village. This wasn't a normal apartment complex, it was filled with artists, musicians, and creative souls. The boys grew up surrounded by walls, costumes, and strange but inspiring neighbors, including famous figures like jazz legend Miles Davis and photographer Diane Arbus, their stepfather. Irving Vincent was a black theater director, and he played a big role in shaping Diesel's future. Irving brought them into this world of art and creativity, which became the foundation for Diesel's love for performance and storytelling. At just 7 years old, Diesel had his first taste of acting when he and some friends broke into a theater, planning to graffiti the place. Instead of punishing them, the theater director offered them scripts and money to join rehearsals. Vin agreed, and soon he was on stage in a play called Dinosaur Door. That small moment turned into a spark that never left him, even though life was far from easy. Although he found passion in acting as a child, survival was not easy for Diesel. By the time he was a teenager, he had to work hard to support himself. At 17, he began working as a nightclub bouncer in Manhattan. From 1984 to 1993, he spent nearly a decade dealing with tough environments, throwing out dangerous people. From clubs like Tunnel and Mars, these weren't simple bar fights with drunk college students. He often faced gang members, mafia figures, and drug dealers. He became known for his strength and toughness, so much so that one local hospital used Diesel as a codename in their reports when fights broke out. His co-workers teased him that he had endless energy, like a machine running on diesel fuel. Combined with Vin, short for Vincent, his stepfather's name, the world soon knew him as Vin Diesel. During this time, Diesel built his body without fancy gyms or professional trainers. He used beer barrels, kegs, and push-ups on dirty nightclub floors to gain muscle. By the time he was in his early 20s, he had transformed from a skinny teenager into a powerful figure weighing over 200 pounds. Yet behind his tough image, he still dreamed of becoming an actor. He enrolled at Hunter College in 1987 to study English literature, hoping to improve his storytelling skills. But balancing studies with his demanding work life was difficult. In 1990, just 3 credits away from graduating, he dropped out. He had been inspired by filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, who made the hit movie El Mariachi on just $7,000. Diesel thought he could do the same. His professors begged him to stay, even mailing him examples of rejection letters to prepare him for Hollywood's struggles. But Diesel's mind was already made up. He wanted to create his own path, no matter how risky. Diesel's early years in Hollywood were tough. His first on-screen appearance came in the 1990 movie Awakenings, but it was so small and uncredited that most people never noticed him. For 5 years, he couldn't land a single speaking role. Casting directors didn't know how to categorize him. He wasn't white enough for some roles, not black enough for others, and not Latino enough either. Instead of giving up, he decided to create his own opportunity. In 1994, he wrote, directed, produced, scored, and acted in a short film called Multifacial. The film told the story of an actor struggling with his mixed identity, constantly being rejected because he didn't fit into one box. Diesel made it in just 3 days with only $3,000. At first, no one cared. He even thought about quitting while editing the film, but his stepfather pushed him to finish it. The film eventually premiered at small festivals and caught unexpected attention when it was screened at Cannes. People admired how he created something powerful with so little money. Soon after, a copy of Multifacial reached Steven Spielberg, who was impressed by Diesel's work. Spielberg rewrote a role in Saving Private Ryan 1998 just for him. Although Diesel had only about 12 minutes of screen time, his performance as Private Capazzo left a lasting impression. One scene, where he tried to save a little girl and was killed, showed his emotional depth beyond just being tough. Spielberg even praised him for his creative ideas during filming. This role opened the doors of Hollywood, leading to bigger opportunities. By 2000, he was starring in movies like Pitch Black, and just a year later, he became a household name with The Fast and the Furious. When Universal Studios released The Fast and the Furious in 2001, no one expected it to become a global phenomenon. The movie, starring Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto and Paul Walker as Brian O'Connor, was made with a modest budget of $38 million. To everyone's surprise, it made over $200 million worldwide. Audiences loved the mix of fast cars, action, and brotherhood. Diesel, with his deep voice and tough persona, became an instant action star. But when it came time for the sequel, Diesel shocked the industry by saying no to a $25 million offer. He felt the script lacked heart and refused to do a project just for money. This bold decision set him apart in Hollywood, showing he wanted to build something meaningful, not just cash. Years later, he returned for Tokyo Drift with just a short cameo. Instead of asking for payment, he negotiated ownership rights to his other character, Riddick, from the Pitch Black series. That smart trade gave him long-term control of a franchise that would bring him both money and creative power. By 2009, when Fast and Furious, the fourth film, was released, Diesel was not just an actor but also a producer. He had creative control over the scripts, casting, and direction of the series. Under his leadership, the franchise exploded in popularity. Films like Fast 5, Furious 7, and The Fate of the Furious made billions at the box office. With Furious 7 crossing the $1 billion mark, Diesel wasn't just acting anymore, he was building an empire. He also created his own production companies, like One Race Films and Tegan Studios, to protect his creative rights. Unlike many stars, Diesel was not just an employee of Hollywood. He was an owner. While Vin Diesel's career reached new heights, his personal life was shaped deeply by his friendship with Paul Walker. The two met during the first Fast and Furious film and quickly became more than co-stars. They became like brothers. Their bond was so close that even Diesel's mother once told him, "You lost your other half." After Walker's tragic death in a car accident in 2013, the loss broke Diesel in ways he never fully recovered from. He named his daughter Pauline after Paul, saying he felt Walker's presence in the delivery room. He also became a father figure to Paul's daughter Meadow, even walking her down the aisle on her wedding day. Every November 30th, the anniversary of Paul's death, Diesel stops filming completely, no matter the cost. He keeps an empty chair on set as a reminder of his friend. Their connection also lives on in the Fast and Furious films. Diesel made sure Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, was never killed off on screen. Instead, the movies honor him with subtle nods, flashbacks, and emotional moments. The hit song "See You Again" from Furious 7 became a symbol of their bond. To fans, the friendship between Diesel and Walker was more than acting. It was real family. This emotional depth gave the franchise a soul beyond just action and cars. And for Diesel, carrying Paul's legacy has become part of his life mission, showing how much loyalty and love mean to him, even in the hardest times. Despite being one of the world's biggest stars, Diesel has always been extremely private about his personal life. He has been in a long relationship with Paloma Jimenez, a Mexican model. Since 2007, together they have 3 children, but Diesel rarely shares details about his family. He calls this his Harrison Ford code of silence, meaning he refuses to live like other celebrities who expose everything for publicity. Even his children's births were kept quiet, with fake names used in hospitals to protect their privacy. He has strict rules in his contracts, such as never filming on his kids' birthdays, showing how much he values family over fame. Diesel's children have also quietly become part of his career. His daughter Hania voiced a character in a Fast and Furious animated series, while his son Vincent played a young version of Dom in F9. Diesel often says he waited until his 40s to have kids, so that he could be a present father. Beyond family, Diesel has surprising hobbies. One of the most unexpected is his love for Dungeons & Dragons, a fantasy role-playing game he has been playing since the 1980s. He even wrote a foreword for AD&D anniversary book and still plays. With friends and co-stars, he's also shown interest in making a live-action adaptation of the game. These details reveal a side of Diesel that fans don't usually see: a man who prefers quiet joys, privacy, and time with family over Hollywood parties. But life in Hollywood isn't without shadows. In late 2023, a lawsuit was filed against Diesel by a former assistant, claiming an incident of sexual misconduct from 2010 while filming Fast 5 in Atlanta. Diesel's lawyers denied the accusations, calling them an attempt to shake him down for money. Some parts of the case were dismissed, but serious charges like sexual battery and wrongful termination were allowed to move forward. Diesel has remained silent publicly, letting his legal team handle the situation. This silence has been noticed by both fans and studios, especially Universal, which has invested billions in the Fast and Furious franchise. The controversy added pressure to an already challenging time. On the set of Fast X, director Justin Lin quit just 5 days into filming, reportedly after clashes with Diesel. Production costs skyrocketed as the studio scrambled to replace him. Crew members even joked about Dom's law, referring to sudden last-minute changes that often came from Diesel himself. These incidents painted a picture of a man who, while deeply respected, could also be difficult to work with. Still, despite these challenges, Diesel remains a powerful figure in Hollywood. His career has always balanced triumphs with trials, fame with shadows, loyalty with controversy. Vin Diesel's story is not just about fast cars, action movies, or global fame. It is the story of a man shaped by mystery, struggle, loyalty, and determination. From a fatherless child in New York's artist housing to one of the highest-paid actors in the world, his journey has been filled with both light and darkness. He built an empire through Fast and Furious, carried his brotherhood with Paul Walker into real life, and fiercely protected his family from the spotlight. At the same time, he faces personal and professional challenges that test his legacy. Makes Diesel's story powerful is the mix of toughness and vulnerability. He is a Hollywood action star who benches beer barrels and leads billion-dollar franchises, yet he is also a father who stops filming for birthdays, a friend who mourns his brother every year, and a man who prefers silence over fame. Whether history remembers him as a hero, a flawed star, or something in between, Vin Diesel has left a mark that cannot be ignored. His life shows us that even in the world of bright lights and global fame, shadows and secrets always remain.